In this video, I'm going to show you how to install our scope rail support for the Benjamin Akela. This will come to you in a little baggie with a 2.5 millimeter Allen key. I'm going to use one of these bits here just for the purposes of this installation video, but it'll be basically the same process. So I'll go ahead and get started. The first thing that you'll need to do whenever you get this is you'll need to remove the cap screw and nut from the rail support. You don't technically need to remove the nut, but it'll probably just fall out anyway. So, well, this one's pretty tight apparently, so I'll keep it in. So there's two ways you can do this. You can technically snap these into place under the rail without loosening the rail or removing it. That's the trickier way. The simpler way is probably to loosen this up. I'll show you the tricky way first, and then I'll show you the way to do it a little more simply, and I imagine less people will have issues with. But I wanted this to be something where you can install, just get this in the mail and just put it right on your Airgun. But it does require that you kind of flex this up a little bit to install it. So I know if you're not comfortable with that, I'll show you another method. Just hold off and wait, and you'll see that in just a second. So the first one is pretty easy. Remove the the screw. First one's pretty easy. You'll just take it and kind of put it in at an angle under the rail, like so, and then slide it forward and twist it in like that. Okay, so now you have that one in. Now it's going to be a little trickier, especially for me to get this on camera here, because it's just a little bit awkward for me reaching my hands way out like this. So the next one, you'll have to sort of flex up on the scope rail while you put it in like that. Okay, and then obviously the next thing is you'll push it back, hard up against the scope rail, and then you'll put the socket head cap screw in and the nut. That's just to show you that can be done, but I've already gotten complaints about installation. So let me show you the easy way. Okay, if I can get this off, you know what I'll do? I'll just go ahead. The easy way is to take this is not included in the kit, but you'll take a 4 millimeter, I believe this is a 4 millimeter Allen. You can also use, what size is this? A 5/32. And you will loosen these only 2 screws that hold this rail in place. Okay, so now that allows this whole thing to move like that, right? You can lift up on it, you can wiggle it side to side. You could remove these completely and slide it back. That's another option. So that'll make it a little easier though now for you to put these into place like so. See, I can just do this one-handed. Let's see if I can, get it on there just like that. Okay, and then put those screws in and you're good to go. The other option obviously would be to take these all the way out, slide it back just enough to get this stuff in there. But that's all, folks. Pretty simple. I'll go ahead and finish it up just to make sure there's no confusion. Tighten that back up, tighten this back up. I prefer to do this first, and go ahead and get this nut into that hole there, like so, and then cap screw through the other side, just like that. Have your Allen key ready, unlike what I did here, and fumble with it a bit, and then put that 2.5 millimeter Allen into the socket head cap screw, tighten it up. I'll actually leave it just a little bit loose and just ensure that it's pushed up against there hard and there's no movement in it. Now I will tighten that up like so. So it's kind of nice because it supports it from underneath to keep it from being pushed down, right? It also supports it on the top. There's just a little differential in the angle to make it to where you can kind of push it in there and kind of press down on the rail and without moving it, and so it actually keeps it from moving up or down. And then it also fits really tightly in the groove on the bottom, so probably helps with a little left to right, although I imagine that's less of an issue. And then the rail, the support fits in there just right behind this barrel band here for just a little extra security there in case it wants to move on you to help hold it in place. So that's it. Now you have some support under your Benjamin Akela floating scope rail, and you can see here the alignment is really nice. It's still nice and aligned with the shroud there. Hopefully you can see that, and doesn't look too bad. It's lined up with the top of the scope rail and blends kind of nicely. It doesn't look too out of place. So that's it. Thanks for watching, folks.